If you're wondering how you can save money on your Medicare prescription drug costs, hopefully you find this video helpful because that's what I'm going to talk about today. My name is Jamie from meetjamie.com. I'm a licensed insurance agent helping people all over the country understand how the Medicare program works, as well as connecting them with the coverage that fits their needs. And a lot of videos that I make here on my YouTube channel come from the experiences and the cases that I have working with Medicare beneficiaries. And so if you have a question that you want answered about Medicare, feel free to leave it in the comments below, and I may address it in a future video. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about how the tiers for Medicare Part D drug plans will affect your costs. So if you've never seen this before, this is hopefully going to be really beneficial to you. So let me share my screen here and just talk a little bit about the tiers, T-I-E-R, of Medicare drug plans. So traditionally, or generally speaking, there are 5 tiers to Medicare Part D drug plans. The very first thing that you need to know, and if you don't take anything else away from this video that I share, it's this. You want to, as much as is possible, choose to have prescriptions that fall under Tier 1 or Tier 2. And here's the reason why. This is, generally speaking, where the lowest cost is for your prescription drug coverage. The government wants to see Medicare beneficiaries use affordable drugs, and these come about in what's called the preferred generic or generic tiers, Tiers 1 and Tiers 2. So as you can see, this tier includes generic medications that are preferred by the insurance plan. Cost: these drugs usually have the lowest copayment. Depending on what it is, sometimes there's no copayment. And in order to know what the tier is of the drug that you take, you also need the formulary of that drug. So if you sign up for a Part D drug plan, you need to understand not only how the tiers work, but also what's covered under the formulary of that plan. So most of these Part D drug plans, they give you the formulary. You can look up your drug. You can see what tier it falls under. The second least expensive is Tier 2, which is a generic drug. In this tier, the tier includes generic drugs that are not preferred but are still cost effective. The co-payments are slightly higher than those in Tier 1. So you have a little bit higher copayment when you go to Tier 2. Then when you get into Tier 3, this is where the costs really start to go up. So this tier includes brand drug names that are preferred by the insurance plan. The co-payments or co-insurance for these drugs are higher than for generics, but lower than for non-preferred brands. So when you are shopping and comparing Medicare Part D drug plans, it's crucial that you understand which prescription drugs you take so that you can then compare that to the Part D formulary and figure out which drugs you take and which tier they fall under. A lot of people don't know this, but if you are taking a Tier 3, 4, or 5 drug, your Medicare drug costs are going to be significantly higher than those in Tier 1 and 2. In fact, once you get into Tiers 4 and 5, sometimes you can even see straight co-insurance, which is you just pay a flat amount. So Tier 4 is non-preferred brand name drugs. This tier includes brand name drugs that are not preferred by the insurance plan. The co-payments or co-insurance for these drugs are higher for those in Tier 3. And then the very top one, the most expensive, is specialty drugs. This tier includes high-cost specialty medications which are often used to treat complex and chronic conditions. These drugs have the highest co-payments or co-insurance. So it's important to know that different plans may categorize drugs differently within these tiers, so it's essential to review your plan's formulary to understand your specific costs. Now here's the thing, this is where your primary doctor becomes your greatest advocate, because you can communicate this to them once you start a Medicare Part D drug plan. You can communicate with your doctor's office, your doctor, and say, in order to save money, I would like to, if it's possible, and again, you'll have to have a conversation with them, keep my drug costs low, therefore the best scenario would be to have generic or preferred generic. I'll just show that to you again in tiers 1 and tiers 2. So preferred generic or generic. When you compare these Part D drug plans, what you'll see is the cost for each tier. So then what you can do is you can look at where your drug falls in the formulary. That will tell you how much cost you're going to incur for that drug. And you may want to look at seeing if your doctor can prescribe you a preferred generic or generic. So that's one of the primary ways that you can save money on your prescription drug costs. The other thing is a lot of pharmacies will have discounts or coupons or programs that you can get help from. If you do take a specialty drug that is expensive, sometimes that drug company will also have their own plan to help offset your costs. But the primary goal should be, when you're choosing your Medicare Part D, is to find a plan that covers your drugs in the lowest tiers possible. And so if you go on to Medicare.gov and you're just looking at Medicare Part D drug plans, just remember that you're not going to get a true estimate of cost without entering in your prescription drugs, because depending on what prescription drug you take, that will determine what the cost to you will be to have that prescription. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like button. If you have questions, again, you can leave them in the comments below. And if you haven't subscribed already to my channel, please do so and click the bell notification so you know when I upload. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.